my girl.
B-sides here on the Vinyltreasure Show. Vince Castro and the Tonettes. That's the B-side to Bong Bong. That side's called You're My Girl, August 1958 on App Records. Vince Castro and the Tonettes. I am back on the stream again. I don't know what happens, why it freezes. It's probably my Logitech webcam, because when I first got it on the first day, I was playing around with that Logitech camera. It fell in my coffee cup, my big mug of coffee that I drink, and I was so upset. And maybe it sticks. I don't know. It's kind of humid today here in the New York area, but I apologize for that. I am back on, and hopefully you're viewing Johnny G and the Vinyltreasure Show. So let's continue here. And this next artist, his real name is Ray Pomade Denson, and he was born in Mount Airy, North Carolina. His first record came out in 1957 on the Savoy record label, but this is his third overall release, which he wrote, and it first came out on the 3D record label initially, but then it was picked up by OK Records. They're probably going to block this because of this anyway, but we're playing it. It's with Robert Banks and his orchestra from October of 59. His name is Billy Lamont. Billy Lamont on OK, and his tune's called Country Boy.
Wop, bobba, dilly, wop, doo, bob, shabam. I just sold a vodka and I'm ready to clown. Gonna get me a girl and go to the hop. Then it's gonna walk in the park, cause I'm a country boy. I'm ready to jump for Charlie. Got a pocket full of money, gonna have myself a ball. We went to the corner to get a soda pop. In the back of the room there was a little jukebox. The cats and kittens was rocking to the beat. I turned my girl for a 10-foot leap, cause I'm a country boy. I'm ready to jump for joy. Got a pocket full of money, gonna have myself a ball. Yes, on the bandstand I used to see a lot. Tight skirts and Barbie socks. Here in the streets, my eyes really popped. I saw a girl wearing those crazy shorts, cause I'm a country boy. I'm ready to jump for joy. I got a pocket full of money, gonna have myself a ball. Yes, on the bandstand I used to see a lot. Tight skirts and Barbie socks. But here in the streets, my eyes really popped. I saw a girl wearing those crazy shorts, cause I'm a country boy. Ow! Ready to jump for joy. I got a pocket full of money, gonna have myself a ball. Ow!
Boy, is that a rockin' tune. Billy Lamont's his name, October 1959 release. I featured it on the OK record label, song entitled Country Boy. Also, the original press comes out on the 3D record label. I don't know if I have it on 3D. I have to check down in the No Humidity basement. That one there. We lost Billy, unfortunately, on June 3rd, 2012, but we remember here on Top Shelf Oldies and Vinyl Treasures. Let's continue here. We go to Petersburg, Virginia for this next group as they recorded two on Benjamin F. Allen's New Cat record label. He also gets writing credit on the 45, but under the name of Joni John. You know those label owners, how they were, and they wanted to get all the money, so they wanted all the royalty payments. Yes, they did. They even want my royalty payments. They won't let me play the record, so maybe they'll blocked this one from my YouTube account. But anyway, this is the first of two for this group, and a song that I first heard on the Time Capsule show. It features Clyde Robinson on lead. We go to February of 1959. This group is called the Continental Five on New Cat Records, and give a listen to their tune. It's called Perdelia. You might have remembered My Lonely Friend by the Continental Five, but that's their first record. And there used to be a small quantity on some of the new cats on that one, but not on My Lonely Friend. But I like that tune. Haven't heard that in a long, long time. The song called Perdelia, they're called the Continental Five from February 1959. Clyde Robinson on lead, New Cat Records out of Petersburg, Virginia. I came across when I was selling my duplicates. I had a duplicate of it. I think it's the Velvetones Impossible, a song I first heard on the Gus Gossett Show. I had two copies of that. I sold that to somebody from Virginia that collected this label, and that was his last missing 45 on the label. I think I sold it for $100 way back when, and sometime in the 80s. Anyway, enough of my babbling here. Let's continue here. This next group, they are from Bakersfield, California. Started recording back in 1955 on Larry Mead's Vita record label. Actually, Vita was first called Mambo. Their first release came out on the Mambo label, but then he changed it to Vita because he didn't want to associate his music with the Mambo dance music. Anyway, they had 4 releases on the Vita label, 2 on Antler, and then this one on the Delco label, which came out under 3 different group names. First came out as the Colts, which is what I'm featuring. The second one came out as the Redcoats, and thirdly, it came out as the Grundy Brothers. And the 45 I'm featuring says the Colts. It's written by the lead singer. His name is Joe Grundy. Let's go to April of '59. The Colts on Delco, and their tune called I Never Knew.
Since the day I met you, darling, my life has surely changed. I never knew life could be like this, so full of love and happiness. And now I'm glad that I fell in love with you. Oh, 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 oh. Since the day I met you, darling, my life has surely changed. I never knew I'd fall in love with you. I never knew I'd fall in love with you.
April 1959, released there by the Colts. Joe Grundy on lead. He also wrote the tune there, Delco Records out of California, song entitled I Never Knew. I guess you never knew Jaji had all these 45s on original vinyl, but I do. I just bought an expensive 45 that I just got in the mail actually yesterday. And I got to start putting together my anniversary show. Got some really cool tunes to feature for you guys. We'll do that soon. Let's continue here. Let's stay in 1959. Let's go to St. Louis, Missouri. Oscar Washington's Ballad record label. I don't forget the group that's backing this artist up, but he recorded 3 on the Ballad record label. This one is the second. There is no mention of a group on this side, but I think there is. His name is Art Lassiter. Lassiter. It's from 1959. It's on Ballad Records. His tune is called Too Late for Tears.
Too late for tears. Too late for tears. Once I had a true love, a real exciting new love, but I didn't know the meaning of when she wanted to know it. I took her for granted showed it. And now it's too late for tears. Too late for tears. There is one thing I know. As down life's road you go. You better watch the seeds you scatter, 'cause you may have to reap what you sow. And how she gave me her heart to use it, I took it, battered and bruised it, and now it's too late for tears. Whoa, whoa, it's too late for tears.
Nice sound out of 1959. Almost, I think he does a couple gospel records. As I didn't pull a gospel record of the week, we can call that one maybe a gospel record of the week. They're the second of three for Art Lassiter and a group on the Ballad label out of St. Louis, Missouri. Song entitled Too Late for Tears. It's not too late. John G here, going to do some overtime. Actually, I should put my headphones on. There are no neighbors next door. They moved to Ireland, but a new couple will be coming in next door with a 1-year-old. So I got to be careful that they don't call the police on Johnny G, although I do have the main window open up here in the attic that I'm broadcasting. Let's continue here. Let's go to Los Angeles, California, to the Lumtone record label here for this group known as the Colones. They first recorded as the Passions in 1958 on the Era and the Doré record labels. And this one is from December of 1969. Someone by the name of Kenny Sinclair. He is doing lead. He was also a member of the 16s. This is an unusual sound. I usually play the B-side of this record, but this is the intended A-side. These are the Colones from December of 59 on Lumtone, and their tune called A Bird and a Bee.
That you love me too. Buzzing bee came buzzing in my ear and told me that love was coming near. I would be a victim of his charm because my love is a coming. You love me too. A buzzing bee came buzzing in my ear and told me that love was coming near. I would be a victim of his charms because my love is a coming. Because my love is a coming.
That's why it's a rare 45, Warren. The Colognes there. The Colognes from December 1959 on the Lumtone. Lummy, what's his name? Lummy Fowler's. I think that's his name. Lumtone record label, A Bird and a Bee. That is... That is the sound of California. Let's continue here. Let's go to stay in 1959. You know this group's first release on the ABC Paramount record label was a song called The Letter. This is their follow-up. This one on the Ricky record label. Tico Wilshire and his orchestra. They are, he is the band leader and the arranger here. Of course, I'm talking about the Larktones. These are the Larktones from 59 on Ricky Records. Their tune called Why Are You Tearing Us Apart?
You said you love me with all your heart, and now you're tearing us apart.
At first you loved me, heart and soul. I thought that our love would never grow cold.
But now it's different, nothing remains. You even told me you'll forget my name. I was a fool to learn your rule. It doesn't seem like I went to Well, darling, you know I love you. Honestly, I do. Oh, my, you said you love me, and now you're tearing us apart. Why, oh, why, oh, why? Our love was true. It's up to you whether you want us to be one or two.
As very similar to their ABC Paramount release, The Letter. That is their follow-up there on the Ricky record label. Why Are You Tearing Us Apart? Actually, I think that's the B-side of the 45 from 59. I think it's Noisy Neighbors, I think, was the A-side of the 45, which is the up-tempo side. Let's continue here for a Saturday evening. We move into 1960 for this artist. I think his biggest hit might have been in 1959. I think the Come On and Love Me. I think he was the first version of that song on the Apt record label. But his first release came out in 57 on the Chart record label out of Miami, Florida. He had other releases on Argo and Glades and Dade and Marlin, and he has this one release on High Weiss's Old Town record label as we move into 1960. December 1960, his name is Davy Jones, not Davy Jones of the Monkees. No, not Davy Jones of the Monkees, somebody completely different. It's on Old Town Records. The name of the tune is called Come On and Get It.
Come on and get it. Get my lovin'. Don't play with it. You got to get it. Come on and get it. Get my lovin'. Come on and get it. Get my lovin'. You know I got it. I want you to have it. Come on and get it. Get my lovin'. Don't tease me. I want you to squeeze me. believe me, don't deceive me, just please me. When deceiving, come on and get my loving. You know I got it, I want you to have it. Come on and get it, get my loving. Your good loving satisfies me so. I'll never let you go. But when I'm at home, you love me all the time, and you almost drive me out of my mind. Get it, oh get it, please, please get it. Come on and get it. Oh, come on and get it. You got to get it. You know I got it. I want you to have it. Come on and get it. Get my loving. Oh, come on and get it. Oh, get it. Get it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes, Warren, the same artist that recorded on Apt Records, Davy Jones. December 1960 release on High Weiss's Old Town record label, song entitled Come On and Get It. Come on and get it every Saturday from 10 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies. It's original vinyl 45s out of my collection. Let's continue. Let's go to the Bronx, New York for this group that consisted of Al Cleveland, Bobby Spencer, Arthur Cryer, and Harold Johnson. Members, I know two of those members there at least were the part of the Halos of Nag fame, and also the Halos that recorded with Curtis Lee. This one's on Morris Levy's Roulette record label. They were called the Cognacs. I think that's how it is, right? The Cognacs from December of 1960 on Roulette. Their tune called Heaven Only Knows.
only knows how much I love you. That's the way it goes. What can I do now that you have gone? I'm sad and blue. Oh, since you've gone away, I've been lonely. How did you forget? My heart was true. Heaven only knows how much I love you. Darling, down by the sycamore tree, that's where we met. Your lips were warm, your eyes so heavenly. Heaven only knows
I think that's the original version of that tune. That was recorded by other artists later on. It's December of 1960. The Cognacs is the name of the group. It's on Maurice Levy's Roulette record label, Heaven Only Knows. I think that's the first rendition of that tune. Let's continue here. So let's go into 1961. As last week I played the B-side of this 45, a song entitled Long Time. This is the A-side of the 45, and the group name gets mentioned on this side, not on the B side, because it just mentions Ronnie Cates. But on this side of the 45, it mentions Ronnie Cates and the Travelers. This one on the Terrace record label, a great two-sided 45. This is a standard tune that you all know. September 61, Ronnie Cates and the Travelers on Terrace, and their rendition of the tune Old Man River.
He must know something, but he don't say nothing. He's just a rolling along. He don't plant potatoes, he don't plant cotton, but them that has them are soon forgotten. He's just a rolling along. Rolling along. You and me, sweat and strain, bodies all aching, racked with pain. But that's all. If that bell, you get a little drunk, and you land. Not in jail. Yeah. Old man the river, that old man the river, he's tired of living, not scared of dying. He's just rolling along. Rolling along.
Great two-sided 45 there on the Terrace record banner. September 61, Ronnie Cates and the Travelers. That's the A-side of the 45, song entitled Old Man River. Long Time is the B-side. They re-released that Long Time on the next release as the B-side. I forget the A-side. I was trying to find it on. Ferdy doesn't list it in his disco file. He only has the groups in the disco file, doesn't list single artists, even though it probably should be there. Anyway, Jai G here for Vinyltreasure Overtime. Let's continue. Here we are in 61. Let's go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for this next group, as they had two releases on Lenny Martin's Robbie record label. And this one is from April 61. They're known as the Laurels, L-A-R-E-L-L-S. Features Frank Avery on lead. I like this tune. This is I think it's the B-side, though, of the record. Anyway, but I like this side. The Laurels here on Robbie with their tune called I Just Can't Understand.
What made you leave me? I just can't understand why you find someone new. I just can't understand. I thought I was young and told me so. If you weren't happy, you should have told me so. Let yourself to someone else. I just can't understand. I thought I was your man. I just can't understand why you found somebody else, and everybody knew but me. Feel like I broke my full heart and said I never will forget your love.
Sound of Pittsburgh here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those Pittsburgh collectors, they go crazy over those Robbie records and other records out of the Pittsburgh area. The Laurels is the name of the group, April 61. I just can't understand that one there. Robbie Records, Lenny Martin's Robbie record label. Let's continue here. Another one out of 1961, as this artist, his first charted release was, I think, in 1958 on the Amco record label, a song called Just Young. Made it up to number 69 on the Billboard Hot 100. But this is the fifth of seven he recorded on the Coral record label. I think a group called the Exotics are backing him up on this one here. And it's interesting, I have a sticker on my promo, my powder blue Coral promo here. It says, after looking at the other side, please play this side. And the sticker is by, his name is Bill Downer, and evidently he was promoting this record for Champion Music Corp, which is the publishing company. Maybe they'll come at me with this record and not let me post this on YouTube. But anyway, let's give a listen to Andy Rose. This one from August of 61, Andy Rose on Coral, and his tune called You Weren't There.
Church bells were ringing, the choir was there, the organ was playing, but you weren't there. My eyes were filled with tears, I wondered what went wrong. You should have been beside me, right where you belong. You weren't there, you weren't there, you weren't there on our wedding day. The dreams we planned on might have come true, but all my dreams were dreams, dear, when it came to you. You weren't there, you weren't there, you weren't there. You should have seen your ma, your pa, your baby sister too. They look so pretty, standing there waiting for you. Church bells stopped ringing, flowers died away, people started leaving, but I stood there to pray. It happened oh so long ago, but I remember it as though it was yesterday. Your wedding day. Oh, 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 yesterday.
August 1961 release there for Andy Rose. Andy Rose on Coral. The fifth of 70 recorded on the Coral record label. The Exotics, I think, are backing him up on that one. A song entitled You Weren't There. Let's continue here. Let's stay in 61. Let's go to Philadelphia's Chancellor record label. On last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I played this gal's debut single. That was a pretty big hit on WAMS in Wilmington, Delaware, was big number one there. A song called Today's the Day. This gal discovered by Johnny Madera and David White. They wrote the tune, a song called Today's the Day. They also wrote the flip side of the 45. This one from July of 61. This is Maureen Gray. Maureen Gray on Chancellor with her tune called Crazy. I forgot the name. Crazy Over You.
Oh man, you're my kind of guy. It's no wonder why I'm so crazy over you. Oh, gee. Take a look at me. Baby, can't you see? I'm so crazy over Baby, 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 I'm having oh boy, what a bundle of joy. I'm like a baby with a brand new toy. I'm so crazy over crazy, crazy over you. Crazy over crazy, crazy over you.
That's Maureen Gray. That is her first record. That's the B-side to Today's the Day, song entitled Crazy Over You. David White, Johnny Madera composition. July 61 on the Chancellor record label, Crazy Over You. We'll go to the bottom of the hour here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. This next group, they are from Brooklyn, New York, and this one is on a label called Gramercy Records. I think this is their debut single. And first of two they recorded on the Gramercy record label from October 61. They're called the Concords. And this one features Dickie Goodman on lead. These are the Concords with their tune called Cross My Heart.
Ooh, ah, yeah, dum 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 doo ba, shoo ba shoo doo boo. Ah, yeah, dum 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 doo ba, shoo ba shoo doo boo. Ah, yeah, dum 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 doo ba, shoo ba shoo doo boo.
I heard the rumors spreading all over town.
Shoo ba shoo doo boo.
They say I'm giving you the runaround. Believe me, darling, I've never told a lie. Cross my heart and hope to die. Some other fellow wants to take you out, and he's just trying to fill your heart with doubt. Believe me, darling, I've never told a lie. Cross my heart and hope to die. Pay no attention to the things that you've heard. You're still my only girl. I'll give you my word. I took your best friend out just like they say. She helped me buy a gift for your birthday. Believe me, darling,
October 61 release. They're called the Concords. The Concords on Gramercy. That I mentioned Gramercy Records, the first of two they recorded on Gramercy. Cross my heart, I have to tell you and have to admit I do not have a first press on this one. I actually have a second press. I think the first press is they have like these two candy canes on the label. And I had a chance. I see that record all the time. I just don't want to. I mean, I got this one for like 10 cents, but I just don't want to spend. I don't know what they have on that record. It's just too much money, and I just don't have the true original press on that one. But this one was like a month or two later. Anyway, those are the Concords with "Cross My Heart." Let's stay with another one out of 1961. Let's head out to the West Coast to the Radiant record label. Radiant, I think, is a division of Dore Records or Era Records, I think. And I bought this one from, I think I have multiple copies of this record, but this one, Chris Varellis sold me this one. I haven't spoken to Chris Varellis in probably over 10 years or so, and I still think he's dabbling in records. I think he sells on eBay once in a while, but he sold me some pretty expensive 45s in the past, I have to admit. But I like this one. When he played it for me over the phone, I said, I'll take this one. It's by Johnny Cole and the Reptiles. Go back to September of 61. It's on Radiant Records. The name of the tune is called Wrap My Heart in Velvet.
Take my dreams and throw them away. Take my love, it's yours anyway. But wrap my heart in velvet, or it will break. Take my lips, they feel no thrill. Take my arms, they have no will. But wrap my heart in velvet, or it will break. I was a fool. You were a fool. I didn't know that you would hurt me so. Only a fool, such as I would forgive and forget all your lies. But I still love you in spite of the past. There's only one thing that I'll ever ask. Just wrap my heart in velvet, or it will break. Just wrap my heart in velvet, or it will break.
Sound of California as we wind down here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are Johnny Cole and the Reptiles. What an odd name for that one. You're going to think the DJs are going to play that record. I doubt it. But that was there from September of 1961 on the Radiant record label, Wrap My Heart in Velvet. Actually, I think that was the B-side of the 45. I guess maybe it was a gimmick that they used. I think it's called Gizzard Lizard on the flip, which is some novelty that I guess, this probably, I guess you can see a name of Reptiles with Gizzard Lizard, I guess. Anyway, as we continue, let's go for a girl group sound here out of 1961. This girl group out of New York City. They're made up of Naomi Barnes, Mary Ellen Maybank, Inez Spencer, Valeria Waddell. Collectively, they were known as the Confessions. They do a great two-sided 45. This one on the Epic record banner, November 61. These are the Confessions with their tune called Bebop Baby.
Come on,
November 61, a cool girl group sound there for a group. They're called the Confessions. They're out of New York City. I'm sorry, folks. New York City. Jaji getting tired here. Epic Records there. Song entitled Bebop Baby is the name of that. I forget where I bought that from. I haven't seen a list from the guy in a long, long time. He's from Boston. I think he's from Boston, Massachusetts. I'll think of his name there. I should be telling you all. I wonder where it happened to a lot of the guys that I purchased a lot of records from when I first started collecting. They have passed on, unfortunately. And I really haven't been buying from a lot of different people. It's all the same people that approach me with records nowadays. And once in a while, I'll see something I need on eBay, and I'll go for it. If it's so now, because I've changed my buying habits. I used to collect thousands of labels, and they would call me up and I'd pay $1 for all these 45s, and I get some really cool records. That's why I would get, I'd be buying whole lots of records for a cheap price. But then I said, once I started doing the show the last couple of years, I'm trying to buy sounds that I can feature here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. So let's continue. Let's stay in 61. This record is on the Laurie record label. This group, this only release for this group. They recorded this one at the Mirror Sound Studios in Manhattan, New York on August 1st, 1961. It was released in December of 61. It's by Larry and the Standards, and the co-writer of the song is Larry Roberts, and that is the person doing lead. This is Laurie Records, Larry and the Standards. Their tune is called Where Is She?
Tell me, darling, what made us adrift apart? I only know she doesn't love me, but I don't care. I only want to know why. Did you leave me and break my heart? Oh, tell me now, child. Do you love me? I lie for her and I cried for her. I'd even sigh for her. Yes, I would die for her. Oh, where is my love? Tell me, where is my heart? And tell me, darling, what made us so far apart? Oh, tell me, darling, do you love me? Yeah, tell me now.
December 61 release. That's a cool tune. Larry and the Standards. Larry Roberts on lead for that one. Came out on the Laurie record label out of New York City. Song and title, Where Is She? Couple more 45s to go here. Let's move into 1962 here. And this singer, a lead singer here, was the founder of the Moonglows, but he left that group for a solo career, and in the process he formed his own labels like the Tri-Fi record label and the Harvey record label, until he became a member of the Berry Gordy Jr.'s Motown empire. Made a ton of money working for Berry Gordy Jr., but He has, here is one he recorded on the Tri-Fi record label, his label. It's a song he wrote along with his wife, Gwen Gordy Fuqua, and this one charted regionally, was number 41 on WHQB out of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm talking about Harvey Fuqua. He goes by the name of Harvey on this release from October of 62 on Tri-Fi Records. His tune is called Any Way You Want Ta.
Sucky, sucky, sucky. Any way you want. Any way you want, any way you want, any way you want, any way you want, any way you want. Na 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 na. Anyway.
October 62 release there, Harvey. Harvey on the Tri-Fi record label, really, Harvey Fuqua. Any Way You Want To is the name of that one. Well, it's time for Johnny G to want to get out of here. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. I also have Johnny G Vinyl Treasures at gmail.com. That is my other email address. Working on some requests for you folks out there. We're going to get this show up on my archive, vinyltreasures.net. You can also watch the show in the U.S., I guess, on my Ustream channel. Vinyl Treasures, Johnny G Vinyl Treasures. You can actually go to the Ustream broadcast. They also are saved there, I think, for 30 days, although they've been there longer for some reason. So they're there, and they're actually a little bit clearer on the Ustream broadcaster, so you can check it out there. But anyway, that's going to do it, folks. We're going to close the show tonight with a record, the B-side or the A-side of a record that I played last week, because I played the B-side last week for this group out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. They were called the Chateaus. Their founder was Paul Lecca, who would later on go on to write some big hits in the 1960s, like Green Tambourine for the Lemon Pipers, Na Na Hey Hey Kiss 'Em Goodbye for Steam, in addition to other songs he wrote for the Peppermint Rainbow and the Five Americans and others. And I played the B-side of this 45 last week. It was a ballad called Honest I Will, My Pledge to You, but this is the A-side, and it's the closer. It's their only single. It was co-written by Paul Lecca. This one recorded in May of 1963, but released in June of 63 on Coral Records. The closer is by the Chateaus on Coral, a song called, that I didn't write down, Summer's Here, and that's what it feels like up here in the attic. Summer's Here by the Chateaus is the closer for tonight. That's going to do it, folks. Hope you enjoyed all the tunes for this evening. I'm happy bringing them to you every Saturday from 10 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies. Want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. I'm going to have a big crowd here in my house. All my siblings are going to be here tomorrow, and Barbara will come later. She's going to be with her mom. She'll be back later here, and that's going to do it, folks. Hope you join me here next Saturday from 10 to midnight, where you get to hear cool original vinyl 45s out of my collection. Everybody have a safe and happy week, and just want to say, everybody, so long.
Shot